Good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you normal incidence at a plane conducting dielectric boundary. Okay. So, when an electromagnetic wave, if it is incident on the dielectric medium, what will happen? So, part of the wave will be reflected. That is, reflected means it is coming back, and part of the wave will be transmitted. That is, it is going inside the medium. Okay. So, let us assume a boundary that separates our medium 1 and medium 2. So, let us assume our medium 1 is having some permittivity, some permeability and some intrinsic impedance. Okay. So, these are the parameters of the medium 1. So, it can be an air medium or free space or any medium. Okay. And let us assume the medium 2 as our dielectric medium. So, like the medium 2 is our dielectric medium. It is having some other permittivity, some other permeability and some intrinsic impedance. Okay. So, assume or consider when an electromagnetic wave. So, it is a combination of electric field and magnetic field. When an electromagnetic wave is incident on the boundary between medium 1 and medium 2, normally means at an angle of 90 degree. When it is incident on the dielectric medium, part of the wave will be reflected and part of the wave will be transmitted. So, part will be transmitted into the medium, dielectric medium, and part will be reflected back. Okay. So, let us consider this incident wave as EI and HI. That is the electric field component and the magnetic field component, EI and HI. Let the transmitted field be ET, transmitted electric field and transmitted magnetic field, and let the reflected wave be denoted as reflected electric field and reflected magnetic field. Okay. So, and we have to give the direction also. That is, we know the electromagnetic wave, the electric field and magnetic field and the direction of propagation all will be mutually perpendicular to each other. So, if consider this is the direction of propagation, that is, in our assumption, let this be the z axis. Let this be the z axis. That is, the wave is propagating in positive z direction, and consider this as positive x axis, that is x direction. So, let us assume this is the direction of propagation of the wave, that is ENANI. Okay, incident, the propagation of the wave, and consider the electric field will be in positive x direction. So, that is our electric field will be in this direction, that is ER. Okay, and the magnetic field. So, the y direction. So, this is Z, this is x. The y direction will be denoted or in this direction. That is, it is perpendicular to the plane, this plane. Okay. So, how will you represent? Usually, we denote the direction that is perpendicular coming out of the plane as a dot with a circle. Yes. Suppose if the direction is into the plane, that is, if this is the plane and the direction is into the plane, we used to denote it with cross and a circle. Okay. So, here, since the magnetic field is pointing outward in this direction, then we will denote it this way. Okay. So this is the incident wave. So, I'm sorry, this is EI and HI. Yes. So, this is the incident wave. Okay. So, it follows a right hand rule. Just imagine your thumb points the electric field, your forefinger points the magnetic field, yes, and your direction of propagation points your middle finger. So as per the diagram, your incident wave is like this. That means the electric field, the magnetic field is coming out of the plane, that is coming out of the plane, and the propagation, wave is propagating in this way. Okay, so if this is propagating, what happens after hitting the boundary, it will change the direction like this. Okay, so this is the direction of propagation now. So this is the reflection direction, and the electric field, look at the electric field, its direction is not changed. Okay, it is again point in the positive x direction, and your direction of the propagation is changed, that is from z, positive z to negative z, and our magnetic field, it is going inside the plane. Previously it is coming out, now it is going inside the plane. So let us draw the diagram of it. So this is the diagram. The propagation is coming out, there is A, N, R, reflection, and our magnetic field, it is now going inside. So I will denote it with X, and our direction of electric field will be pointing upwards, that is in the positive X direction. So this is our ER, this is our HR, and this is the propagation. Okay, now what will happen to the transmitted wave? So if it is the transmitted case, what is happening? The propagation, again, just look at the incident wave. It takes the same direction. Yes, it takes the same direction and is going to the dielectric wave. So you can write the direction as it is. There is no change in the transmitted signal. Okay, so you can draw the signal like this. So with the H field, there is the H field that is going out of the plane, and the electric field that is pointing towards the x-axis, and the magnetic field, the propagation will be towards the positive z-axis. So that is denoted as A, N, T. Okay. So let us analyze the incident wave, reflected wave, and the transmitted wave one by one. So first let us write the incident wave. The incident wave is having the two components. One is electric field component, another one is magnetic field component. First write the electric field component, EI of Z. Yes, that is equal to the electric field points in the positive x direction, so AX, as we have seen in the previous diagram, and its magnitude is EI naught, and it is having it is propagating in positive z direction, that is denoted by e power minus j beta 1 z, where beta 1 is the propagation constant. Okay. Similarly, we have to write the magnetic field component, that is Hi of z is equal to, and we know that our incident wave, the magnetic field direction is coming out, that is positive y direction. So I will write it as A y vector, and the magnitude is, we can write the magnitude in terms of EI as EI naught by eta 1. So the magnitude of the magnetic field component is EI naught divided by eta 1 into, again it is same as the magnetic, it is propagating in the positive z direction, so minus j beta 1 z. Okay. Similarly, we have to write it for the reflected wave. Okay. So the incident wave, after it touches the boundary, it will be split into two. One is reflection and another one is transmission. So first the reflected wave. So let us write the electric field component of the reflected wave, ER of z vector. So everywhere we have to write the vector. So ER of z is equal to, again for the reflected wave also the electric field direction is not changed. So we can write the same AX vector. E, the magnitude of ER of z is ER naught, and e power, again look at that diagram. So after after reflection it takes the negative z direction. So for positive z direction we denoted it like this. For negative z direction we have to denote it in the opposite way. So my minus change into plus j beta 1 z. Okay. So next write it for magnetic field. So E r of z, instead of that h r of z is equal to, okay. So I have already explained in the diagram for the reflection, the magnetic field after reflection it will be, the direction will be changed. So and one more thing is you can write the magnetic field in terms of electric field. So we have a formula that first let us write the direction of it. So the direction of reflection is minus z direction cross, you have to take cross product of 1 by eta 1 into this electric field component. So from the electric field itself, by using this simple relationship we can get the magnetic field component. So let us substitute it. So minus az cross 1 by eta 1. So let's put bracket, yes, 1 by eta 1 into er of z. What is, just substitute er of z in this equation. So 1 by eta 1 into ax vector er naught e power plus j beta 1 z. Okay. Now just take the cross product of this base vectors, that is a z minus a z cross ax. So when we cross the minus a z into ax, what we get is minus ay. Okay, minus ay. So instead of minus a z cross ax, we will substitute minus ay. Okay, so let us write minus ay and write the remaining things, that is er naught e power plus j beta 1 z. Okay, so this is the equation for the magnetic field in reflected wave. Okay, so similarly let us write the equation for transmitted wave. The third is transmitted wave. Okay. So just write the transmitted wave E t of z. That is equal to, just look at the diagram. For the transmitted wave also, the electric field points in the positive x direction. So no need to worry about it. Just write ax vector into the magnitude of the transmitted component is et naught. Just put et naught, and the direction of propagation is positive z. So minus j beta 2. Okay, this is the only difference. Beta 2 is it, because for medium 1 we use the propagation constant beta 1. Now the transmitted wave is in medium 2. So we will denote it with beta 2. Okay, and similarly for the magnetic field component, ht vector of z is equal to, for magnetic field what is, we can, from the electric field we can write. So we know the formula, right? So tell me the direction of propagation of the transmitted wave. It is simply positive az, yes, into 1 by, in the previous we used eta 1, but here it is in medium 2, so we use eta 2 into e t of z. Okay, so substitute et of z here. It is a z cross, so let's put bracket 1 by eta 2 into et of z. Here substitute this term, that is ax vector e t naught e power minus j beta 2 z. previous, we have to multiply or take cross product of AZ cross AX. Yes, when we cross product AZ cross AX, the answer will be AY. Okay, plus AY. Okay, so instead of AZ cross AX, you can write AY. So the resultant vector is pointing in AY direction, and we can write the remaining things as it is. That is 1 by eta 2 into et naught into e power minus j beta 2z. So now let us apply the boundary conditions of these components. Okay, so boundary condition is at z is equal to 0 in that diagram. So at the boundary, what will happen? So actually at the boundary, all the tangential component will be 0. So we can write like this: the incident component at 0 plus the reflected component at 0. So these two components are in medium 1. So the total component is equal to the sum of components in the medium 2. That is E transmitted of 0 is equal to. Okay. So when we substitute 0, z is equal to 0 in this equation, E of z equation, what we get is, instead of EI naught, we get is EI naught. Okay, and here we get the answer as ER naught, and here we get it as ET naught. Okay, so let it be equation number 1. And similarly, if you apply the boundary conditions for magnetic field component, so and the same thing. So all the medium components, all the components in medium 1 will be equal to components in the sum of components in the medium 2. So let us write HI, incident component at 0 plus reflected component at 0 is equal to the total component HT of 0, the total transmitted component in the medium 2. So again, in the equation, previous equations, if we substitute z is equal to 0, we get EI naught by eta 1 plus ER naught by eta 1, okay, and is equal to ET naught by eta, it is in the medium 2, eta 2, okay. So let us take this as equation number 2, okay. So when we solve the equation number 1 and equation number 2, we get two coefficients. One is reflection coefficient, another one is transmitted coefficient. Okay, so I'll directly write the reflection answer. It is the reflection coefficient. It is denoted by the symbol gamma. So that gamma, it is equal to the ratio of E R naught divided by EI naught. Thus, it is a ratio of reflected component to the incident component. Okay. So the answer, the resultant answer, while solving the equation number 1 and 2, we get eta 2 minus eta 1 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1. Okay. And again, the second coefficient is tau. coefficient. The first one is known as reflection coefficient. The second one is known as transmission coefficient. It is defined as the ratio of transmitted component to the incident component. Okay, so the result will be 2 eta 2 divided by eta 1 plus eta 2. Okay, so by using this relation, that is the ratio of ER naught by EA naught for reflection coefficient and ET naught by EI naught for transmission coefficient, we are going to analyze the total electric field and total magnetic field in medium 1 and total electric field and total magnetic field in medium 2. Okay. So first let's find the total electric field in medium 1. Okay, so let us denote it with E1 of Z. It is denoted by E1 of Z. So total electric field in medium 1 is the sum of incident component with sum of reflected component. Okay, so let us write the incident component that we have derived previously. So that is AX EI naught, that is the magnitude, and the direction minus J beta 1 Z. Okay, plus the reflected component. So the reflected component is minus AX ER naught into e power plus J beta 1 Z. Okay, so first we have to sum these two terms. So how will we do? We can take AX in common and EI naught, here also we have to convert or change it to in terms of EI naught. So we know the relation between the reflection coefficient. So the reflection coefficient gamma can be written as ER naught by EI naught. So from this, if you want ER naught, what can we write? ER naught is equal to gamma into EI naught. So if we substitute ER naught is equal to gamma into EI naught, we can easily simplify this. So substitute instead of ER naught, AX EI naught e power minus J beta 1 Z, and here plus AX it is gamma EI naught into e power plus J beta 1 Z. So in both the terms we have AX EI naught in common, so we can take it outside. AX into EI naught, and you can write the remaining things inside the bracket, that is e power minus J beta 1 Z and plus the reflection coefficient with e power plus J beta 1 Z. Okay. Now in this equation, take this e power minus J beta 1 outside. Okay, beta 1 is outside. So a power X EI naught into e power minus J beta 1 Z. So if we take the thing common, what will happen? It will become 1 plus eta into, it is gamma into e power plus J beta 1 Z divided by, in the denominator you can write the same term, that is e power minus j beta 1 z. Okay, and further simplifying, the denominator term, if you bring it to the numerator, the minus will become plus. Okay, so e power plus j beta 1, again e power plus j beta 1. So if we add up these two, it will become e power plus 2j beta 1 is it. Okay, we can directly write it as ax ei naught e power minus j beta 1 is it 1 plus gamma into e power plus 2j. So before that, if we plot this equation E1 of z for various values, yes, we have two broad cases. One is the reflection coefficient if it is greater than 0, and the reflection coefficient if it is less than 0, what will happen? Okay, so first analyze the case number 1, that is if the reflection is greater than 0. If the reflection is greater than 0, that is positive values, it will have positive values, then our E1 of z will be maximum for the values. If you substitute beta 1 z as 0, 2 pi, that is even values, minus 4 pi, etc. Okay, I think it will become minimum if we substitute the values for beta 1 z as minus pi, minus 3 pi, and etc. Some odd values if we give, we will get the minimum value. Okay. Similarly, for the second case, that is if it is less than 0, then our E1 of z will be minimum at z beta 1 is equal to 0, minus 2 pi, minus 4 pi, etc. And it will become maximum when we substitute beta 1 z is equal to minus pi, minus 3 pi, that is odd terms. Okay, so vice versa relationship will happen for if we change the reflection coefficients. Okay, now let us find it for the magnetic field also, that is in medium 1 the total magnetic field. Now let us see the magnetic field intensity in medium 1, the total magnetic field intensity in medium 1. In medium 1. So the total magnetic field in medium 1 is the combination of incident and the reflected. So we will write it as the total magnetic field as suffix 1, that is equal to incident magnetic field plus reflected magnetic field. So if you look at the equation or expression for EHA of z and EHR of z, you can write it as AY EI naught divided by eta 1 into e power minus j beta 1 z. And for HR of z, it is minus AY into ER naught divided by eta 1 into e power plus j beta 1 z. Okay. Now let us apply the reflection coefficient formula here. We know that gamma is equal to ER naught divided by EI naught. So if we substitute or if it is from this equation, if ER naught is equal to gamma into EI naught. If you substitute ER naught as gamma into EI naught, we will write the equation as AY EI naught divided by eta 1 into e power minus j beta 1 is at minus AY into, instead of ER naught, gamma EI naught divided by eta 1 into e power plus j beta 1 z. Okay. In both the equation we have, so both the terms we have ay ei naught divided by eta 1 in common, so we can take it outside. So ay ei naught divided by eta 1 can be taken outside. The remaining terms are e power minus j beta 1 z minus gamma into e power plus j beta 1 z. Okay, and again if we take the e power j beta 1 z term outside the bracket, then what will happen? The second term at the denominator we will write the same term as in the electric field case that we seen previously. Yeah. Now and we'll write it again. Ay ei naught divided by eta 1, and I'll take the e power minus j beta 1 z outside. Okay, then it will become 1 minus gamma e power plus j beta 1 z divided by e power minus j beta 1 z. Okay, so the denominator term, when it comes to the numerator, it will become plus. So e power plus j beta 1 into e power plus j beta 1. So we can combine and write it as e power plus 2j beta 1 z. So we'll rewrite it as ay ei naught divided by eta 1 into e power minus j beta 1 z into 1 minus gamma e power plus 2j beta 1 z. So this is the total magnetic field in medium 1. So if we look at the equation, when we substitute the various values for beta z, like odd terms or even terms, you will get various maximum and minimum values. This maximum and minimum values are just opposite to the electric field case. For example, if we get maximum for the beta 1 z is equal to 0, minus 2 pi or minus 4 pi, here we will get a minimum value for those values. Okay, for minimum h1 of z for those values. So the vice versa case will be there. Okay, now so far we have seen two things. One is total electric field in medium 1 and total magnetic field in medium 1. Okay, now similar to that we will find the total electric and magnetic field in medium 2 also. So let us write the total electric and magnetic field in medium 2. Okay, so if we refer to the diagram, what are the waves present in medium 2? Only the transmitted waves. So if I write the total electric field in medium 2, what we get is the transmitted wave alone. Okay, you just write the transmitted wave equation that we have derived previously. What is that? It is ax e t naught into e power minus j beta 2z. That we have derived before, right? Now this et naught you have to change it into or in terms of transmission coefficient. We know that transmission coefficient is represented as tau, that is the ratio of et naught by ei naught. From this equation, if you find et naught, what will you get? Et naught is equal to tau into ei naught. So instead of et naught, we substitute tau into ei naught. So here what will happen? Ax tau into ei naught naught into e power minus j beta 1 z. So this is the total electric field in medium 2. Similarly, we are going to find the total magnetic field in medium 2. So let us write it as it is denoted by H2 of Z, that is equal to, it is nothing but the transmitted magnetic field. Okay, we refer to the equation for transmitted magnetic field. It is nothing but AY E T naught divided by eta 2, yes, into e power minus j beta 2 z. Okay, similar to the previous, we have to write et naught is equal to tau into Ea naught. So substitute et naught is equal to tau into Ea naught. Okay, so our equation will become tau into Ea naught divided by eta 2 into e power minus j beta 2 z. Okay, so these are the two equations, H2 of z this is. So E2 of z and H2 of z. These are the two equations or two fields that exist in medium 2. Okay, hope you have understood all the concepts. Thank you, students.